Hey everyone, Morgan Robinson here for Real Talk with Jamal Niaz, of course. We have just got out of a movie called Noise, a French movie. Jamal, you were a big fan of this one. I think I was as well, but this guy really was.
I think the best way to describe this film is a supernatural version of Taken. The premise of it is a man who's very much down on his luck after an accident where he's lost his hearing, fully deaf, and really has no purpose in life from his end, has no motivation to get up in the morning, sees the worst in people and is in a very pessimistic state. Then suddenly things start to take a very strange turn, which would be enough to send anyone crazy, to be honest, whether you've lost your hearing or not. He begins to hear other people's thoughts and really odd for anyone as well, like I said. And the doctor who is dealing with his diagnosis and trying to see if there's any way he will regain his hearing isn't very happy with what he's hearing, to say the very least. And then a young nurse comes with a proposition. Her young sister has been abducted and she needs the help of our lead. And that's where we get going with this one.
Yeah, I mean, look, you say supernatural.
Yeah.
It is supernatural in the sense that this deaf man
Shouldn't really be happening, should it?
No, can now hear other people's thoughts. This develops even further in this movie into this investigation of this disappearance, which, and you know, it makes it a really, really tense thriller, really good thriller. But when it gets a little more surreal was when I sort of really went from liking it to really liking 100%. This movie. What do you think about that?
100%. We just had this discussion after coming out the screening and perfectly happy with how things were going. I was already loving the film to begin with this idea that he could solve the crime using his powers at what we thought were at the peak of his powers and at the max where they could go. And then we start to realise that he can fully absorb the energy of what is going on in these people's bodies. And to be fair, I thought that would come at his own risk. I thought that was going to maybe maximise his potential and put his own life at risk. We didn't get that. That's not really a massive spoiler, but what we did get was that he could manipulate other people into causing harm to themselves, which I like. I like the supernatural element, what I'm talking about. It was like Carrie meets Taken.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like a rated R comic book origin movie.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you, that is exactly what this feels like. And, you know, yes, it's a French movie. That really makes no difference at all.
No.
You know, we get some international movies that are styled a certain way. You can sometimes tell if a movie's a French movie. It didn't make any difference with this one.
I think this is definitely a film that will be universally loved. It came out last year in France, so it's slowly making its way to international waters now. Touching on the relationship as well between our lead actor and the nurse, who he has to track down the nurse's sister. I think that was such a great dynamic because there was a scene which stands out for me where he is really fed up of working on this case because there seems no end in sight. Such a difficult... They're looking for a white van. The white van is where the young nurse's daughter was last seen, and they've been to over 100 sites and found nothing of where this white van could be. And she says to him, look, you're only doing this because you're getting an adrenaline rush out of it. You're not doing it because you want to help me. And he said, yeah, I am, because what this has done is given him purpose in life.
Yeah.
And yeah, he did pick this moment for himself because he was down in his luck. So you're kind of looking at that situation thinking, God, she's right. I mean, her sister is the centre of her world at this moment, and she has an unnatural talent who can help us in this situation, but all he's thinking about is how it benefits his mental health. And it's a tough scene to digest, but you thoroughly understand both reasonings behind that.
You do. I mean, it's a great character story as well, and like Jamal's just said, the dynamic between those two lead characters and the romance that we see from that.
I think that's
is a big part too.
That's important because sometimes these romances between lead characters can be forced in these circumstances, but you couldn't see anything else happening with these two because they were spending so much time with each other, and the nurse was so comfortable with this man. I mean, in the first instance, when he's reading her thoughts, she says that she finds him good looking and handsome. So that's planting the seed already, and he's not acted on it. He didn't even flirt back or anything, but you were thinking maybe something will develop, and regardless of whether they were physically attracted to each other, they were there for each other in their worst moments, and yeah, they fell in love, I guess, and I was more than happy to see that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's the point. It might be a very, very tense crime thriller, but it's got that nice little romance angle as well, and that very believable romance angle, which
100%.
is also very important. I think we're going to leave it there. We've got another movie to shoot off to.
We have.
It's a quick turnaround today. So, any last words, Jamal?
Yeah, I just want to say, like I said, how it went chaotic towards the end. We did get our bits of blood and gore, which hadn't been teased throughout the movie, and I like how it was just thrown at us, like you said. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not gonna. We don't do scores on Real Talk, but very much an enjoyable film experience. Pleasantly surprised by that one, and I can't believe this was Jeremy Laval's debut feature. He hadn't even made a short since 2009, so it's a testament to his filmmaking abilities, and I'm really excited to see what he's got in store, guys. So,
absolutely. There we go, guys. See you later.
See you later.